If you've been living under a rock, or at least not addicted to social media, you've probably heard that Ocelot, the owner of G2, has been suspended as CEO after social media was perturbed after Ocelot had posted a video celebrating a recent G2 victory, and in the background was spotted Andrew Tate.
Thank you, brother.
Let it go. Right behind it.
Now, if you don't know who Andrew Tate is because either you're a boomer like me or you're not a feminist, jokes, calm down. He's kind of like Jordan Peterson, but younger and more tan. See? Both sides can get these fucking hands. Andrew Tate has been accused of sexual assault, running camgirl websites, and he was part of an affiliate program for Hustlers University, a place for generally young men to learn how to hustle, pay $4.99 a month for a membership. I don't know. I'm too old for this shit. People are very up in arms about this because Andrew Tate has been heard spouting misogynist things.
And women are out here today trying to extract your attention from you without returning anything. That's what the male-female friendship is. In the old days, man would give attention in return for sex. But nowadays, men just give attention and don't get any sex back.
Okay, so why would Ocelot surround himself with someone like this? Maybe he was just at the same party and Ocelot had no idea? Oh, fuck, wait. Fine, okay. He just apologizes, it all blows over, and we all forget about it. It surely can't get any worse than this, can it? Okay. So he dug himself into a hole here. Fuck, Carlos, you're making this really difficult right now. Okay, let me put this video out before he fucks over his entire company. Okay, so why do I care about defending Carlos anyways? Well, let's talk a little bit about moral relativism. It's this idea that a certain group of people can hold different morals from another group of people, and that neither group is wrong because it's all relative to your group and your perspective. We generally now call this ethics, morals usually being referred to for the individual, and ethics referring to a large group of people. This philosophy is largely critiqued heavily because, it goes against the idea of objective morality in a sense, right? This is one such is like thou shalt not murder, right? Because, and now notice how I didn't say thou shalt not kill, as from my understanding, the Old Testament said murder, not kill. But this is thought of as a objective morality in the sense, right? And it flies in the face of relative morality or relative moralism, right? History lesson over. With that said, where was the massive outrage for ESL being owned by the Saudi Arabian government? Surely one could argue moral relativism and therefore the logical fallacy of that said field of philosophy. And it's not the argument of whataboutism. God, I hate this term. It has morphed from a person who states something off topic about general morality. And I always like to make the joke about Kevin Hart where he says he's arguing with his wife, and the way to always win is to say some shit like, well, fuck you, you always leave the goddamn microwave on high, right? It's like, obviously that has nothing to do with any argument that you could ever entertain between two people anyways. but that's a joke. But most of the time, people make arguments of whataboutism, which generally are just ad hominems in disguise. But when we're talking about misogyny, just say, at a government level, influencing an entire organization, a tournament organizer, and one at the fuckboy level, influencing a team owner, I think it's fair to call out the difference in outrage and lack of moral consistency when you have people disparaging companies for being misogynist, yet then working for them in the end. And you may think, well, we can influence the smaller one more easily. This type of mentality is why we can't have nice things in esports, guys. Look, I get it. Carlos is cocky. He's somewhat of a villain in esports. At least that's what his role is. And in some ways, I think fans and industry folk alike get too caught up in the WWE characters of our industry. And even he himself is being caught up in his own character. And yes, this Andrew Tate guy, from what I learned in the last couple hours about him on YouTube, that he said some completely outrageous and heinous shit. But since we're going on that angle that if you're adjacent with someone that is considered bad, then surely the people that align adjacent to a regime that puts people in camps for re-education against their will, or just held the first ever co-ed concert in 2017, surely we can, hold these same standards as well for these other people. That's the same justification that's taking place right now for the entire Valorant staff of G2 that are probably going to get laid off because of Carlos's actions and those having consequences and being adjacent to those actions, but by whose hand and by what measurement? Oh, that's right. I forgot about our old friend moral relativism. Only believing in something when it's convenient isn't a belief. Let me end on a story from World War II. No, it's not about the Nazis. It's about Unit 731. This was a Japanese unit that occupied China and did heinous medical experiments on the local Chinese and what I would consider some of the worst war crimes in modern history. From testing live explosives on patients, to freezing limbs, to spreading diseases to nearby villages to see the reaction. All of these experiments without anesthesia, of course, otherwise it would corrupt the data. Later, after World War II ended, the director of Unit 731, Shiroishi, was pardoned by the US in exchange for all of his medical data on the experiments he conducted. The point of this story is, do the ends justify the means? Does ending misogyny by any means necessary mean destroying parts of our scene while turning a blind eye to others? Does accepting blood money mean that we can use that money to propel esports to a higher place and then wean ourselves off of that corrupt money? Moral consistency is key, and hint, the end rarely, if ever, justify the means, because you cannot know the end.